This is a Stand Up New York Labs production, providing you podcasts since 2013.
I am someone who is looking for love, real love.
Stack in the city. Stack in the city with Jay. Stack in the city with Jay. And Ian.
Ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming. Can't live without each other, love.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Sex in the City. I'm Jay Miller.
And I'm Ian Finance.
We are here to get into another episode of Sex and the City, episode 2. Hopefully, we will get to it.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I know. Let's just go right into it.
Wow. I want to see how you're doing, Jay.
I know, but I feel like if we just start straight into it, at least 15 minutes it'll take for us to
Okay,
start.
fair enough.
Because, you know, when I used to do these periscopes where I would be like, all right, I'm going to go on and not do it for long. And as soon as I'd sit in, I go, well, let me just kill a little bit of time up top. Well, I did this with Mid-Evenings, my other show, and Happiness, my live show, where I'm like, let me just like kill time up front because I don't have enough stuff. And I would always go 15, 20 minutes up top and then have no room for anything else after.
Kind of like when you're writing on a sign and you write like really big and then you get to the end of the sign and you have to fit in like happy birthday, Karen on like a 2-inch space.
Yeah. Well, with that, happy birthday to Karen.
We
Also,
love you.
Yeah, 29 today.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. Episode 2, season 1.
Do you have anyone in your life named Karen?
See, the weird thing is like, I know what you're doing, and I should go through, like, just straight through. But now I'm also like, do I know anyone named Karen? Because now I want to think on that. The only, there was a girl, Karen, who I went to public school with in 4th grade, and she came from Israel, and she was like I guess not a. I guess, is that a transfer student? I guess no.
If they
She
come
lived
from
there.
Israel?
Yeah.
What? They're not commuting.
It was maybe it was a Staten Island Birthright. I don't know if that's a thing, but
Staten Island Birthrights when you just go and you live in a pile of trash.
so she had a very heavy accent, and we did a school play.
Israeli?
Yeah. We did a school play, and she spilt she had to do a commercial. It was a Bounty commercial. It's so crazy that I remember this. And this is how many years? This is like 35 years later. She spilled it on the table, and then she would go, "Oh no, this spilled on the table." And it became, I mean, in my head, it was a thing that we all laughed at. If we asked her, I'm sure she would say we made fun of her for 2 years straight.
That was almost like a old school meme.
It was the first, it was the first meme.
Wow.
Oh no, that's spilled on the table. And the fact that I remember it, I must have said it so many times within, like, I probably said it like 10 times a day, every day to her in class.
To her?
Recently,
What would she say when you would say, "Oh no, I spilled on the table"?
I mean, in my head, she loved it and it was a great joke. But in real life, I probably bullied her for 2 years straight. But here's another thing. Oh, I hate that. Okay. I got a message recently. I got into a Facebook fight with someone. Wow.
Sorry.
You got to turn that off.
Sorry.
It's professionals. I'll turn mine off now. I got into a Facebook fight, a political Facebook fight.
You get out of here.
Yeah, but now you got a message, and now you're not even responding back to the text that you just got. You scroll down to a new text, and you're responding to that one.
Our tub is messed up, and it's clogging, and so my landlord just texted me and said that the handyman was coming at 1. So I was texting my roommate.
Oh, well, at least give me a excuse me for a moment. I got to do this.
You're right.
text."
Excuse me for a moment. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was incredibly rude. I tried to be slick, but it didn't work.
I do this thing when people start texting when I'm talking, I go, I'll wait till you finish. But I don't mean it. I don't know how to say it in a non-rude way
Like,
because
in a
I'm not
non-bitchy way.
I'm not being rude. I'll just
Right.
wait till you're done because I know you're not 100% listening.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I'm not mad. And then
I'm disappointed.
Okay, back to spilling the table. I got into a political Facebook fight with this kid I went to high school, middle school, high school with.
Sounds productive. Continue.
And it's one of those really brutal ones. Right? And I get into these fights when I'm really bored, I think, just because I crave interaction with
Right.
people. And at one point, I literally asked, and I wasn't even joking, if he was, I go, does anyone know if Joe is intellectually challenged? Because I would feel really bad if I'm having this conversation with someone, because his responses make you feel like, I don't know if he's like quite there. And then I'm an idiot, like getting into a fight with someone who is like slow.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I meant that in like genuinely. And then another girl who I went to high school with like messaged me saying that it's fucked up how I treat him, and he told her that I bullied him throughout the entire 4 years of high school, and that it's really messed with him, and I should apologize to him.
Whoa.
And
Wow. And here you thought you were on the right end of arguing.
well, and that's when
So
it
doesn't
comes.
his teach you to never argue
Yeah. Well,
online?
Nah, I disagree with that.
What was the
see what I
argument
did?
about?
I was like starting an argument.
Oh, yeah. You disagree with that? That's good.
It's real clever.
That was funny.
The thing is, I definitely bullied people in high school, but I was also, by definition, I technically bullied people in high school. But I was also,
What's your definition?
I made fun of people in high school, but
Uh-huh.
I was also made fun of. Everyone just made fun of people constantly. It's
Right.
like all everyone did.
Right.
So, like, it's a weird thing to hear it back that you like bullied him, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I did.
Right.
But also, it was the entire school. That's
That
all.
bullied him.
It's all no,
Or
no.
bullied each other.
And it's all everyone did constantly.
Oh, yeah.
All you do in high school is just make fun of everyone constantly, and so
Well, that wasn't my experience.
really, well, Staten Island was fucking brutal. It wasn't until I got to college and I started hanging out with people who were like really nice to each other, and I was part of like the punk rock hardcore scene where people were like supportive of each other, and I was like, this is insane.
Right,
What?
right.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
I also came from like a like family that wasn't like super supportive of things like that. and,
Right.
like nice. Like my family is like that. When I walk into the house, and then my nieces do this too, and I hate it. When I walk into the house, they'll just say the first like negative thing they see. So you walk in the house, like if you get a haircut, it's always like, "Whoa, nice haircut," and you're like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" I'm like, guys, I just walked in.
Yeah.
I've never walked in the house, and they're just like,
You're adopted.
yeah. Well, they've never said that, but I've never walked in and they're like, "Wow, you look great. Great outfit. Did you lose weight? Did your hair grow back?"
So do you think you bullied because you were bullied at home and other people were like that?
No, but to me, it wasn't bullying. It was
So
just,
did you apologize to this kid?
No, I was like, yes, I will apologize to him,
But you didn't.
but I didn't.
You were like, I won't talk to a Trump voter.
I don't know. I'm in a situation I did not know. When did we start this thing? I always forget to.
We've been on for 7 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Let's get into the episode and then we'll come back.
Oh, is that
to-
like the count? Is that like
Yeah,
the clock?
yeah,
Oh,
that-
we have a clock.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 12:07. I thought it was military time. I know it makes no sense when you think about it because technically it would be midnight 07.
Yeah, that'd be
but,
midnight.
The second episode of Sex and the
Wow, I
City
can't believe you got bullied.
is
Way to read a clock, stupid. Anyway, the second episode of Sex and the City is Models and Mortals.
Models and Mortals. It aired June 14th, 1998. Where were you, June 14th? Let's do each week. Where were we?
Oh, my God.
It was directed by Allison McLean, who shares a birthday with me, July 31st. How fun. When is your birthday?
December 31st.
Oh, that's right. You share a
Yeah.
birthday with my sister. That's fun. She also directed the video for Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. Fun fact.
I'm torn. I'm all out of pain.
Again, written by Darren Starr. First of all, here's my biggest problem with this entire episode. It starts with Nick, a 34-year-old in Manhattan. How is this guy dating models?
That pissed me off.
Like, why couldn't you make him at least a decent-looking guy?
I mean, that droopy face goblin.
Yeah. Or at least show off, like, his wealth. Like, he's, like, kind of like a short, gross guy, but at least show off that he's super rich.
He was wearing, like, a suit jacket that was, like, a size too big for him.
Yeah.
It was so gross and creepy. And that whole scene at the table where they go around saying, he goes, movie star that you'd like to fuck.
Well, the weirder thing are his friends who are like,
Well, then they
why
kept-
are we like? Imagine going to a party and your
Doing
friend
the
doing that
same
same
game.
thing. I would be like, I'm not
Well, when
doing.
they went around with it, it seemed like it was like from Get Out. Like it seemed like they were like, it was so weird. So weird. They all seemed like stuck there.
But it was the guys who were like super happy to answer because the guys were like, I want to see what she
Marilyn
says.
Monroe. Sophia Loren, because my dad wanted to fuck Sophia Loren. Ugh. That's weird.
Who would be your choice?
Sophia Loren.
Wow, I didn't even think about it. I should have thought about it. Who you would have sex with at any time, any era?
Sophia Loren is such a babe.
Yeah, so is Audrey Hepburn.
Rock Hudson, maybe, so I could get AIDS. That'd be interesting.
Wow. All right. Well, that's 8 minutes. Thanks for listening.
Also,
you know who I
how,
thi-
how does that droopy face zilch get models?
I would also say Michelle Rodriguez from Lost era.
Ooh. I thought it
Anna
had to be
Lucia.
like it had to be like old actors and actresses.
No, I think she says anyone at any time. I felt like, or maybe I read it wrong, but whatever. It's gonna be Anna Lucia either way. Okay, so yeah, how? He had a bunch of quotes that he said here. Why fuck the girl in the skirt when you could fuck the girl in the ad for the skirt?
That's
I mean, I guess that's
so
Darren Star.
weird.
But then he also said,
Why drink the orange juice when you can fuck the girl that pours it in the commercial?
he said, some of my friends think I'm shallow. Sometimes I think they're right. But sometimes I think I'm fucking a model. Which is like, I was like, okay, I get that. Have you ever had sex with a model?
No. No. One time I tried to hook up with a girl that handed out Red Bulls at parties. That's like the closest I ever came.
It's also weird because, like, what is considered a model these days? Because I've had sex with, I was trying to think of how many girls, like, I guess who would consider themselves models. No, I've never had sex with someone who's like,
I've had sex with chicks that could be models.
I've had two girls that have done modeling. And who, especially one who I still can't believe. Oh, no. I hooked up with a third girl who did
Who did what?
modeling.
Have regrets?
Well, yeah.
Who did modeling? What is who did modeling?
Shit, there's a fourth girl. Okay.
What?
Wait, let's.
Also, while Jay is saying this, he's literally staring into the distance. His eyes just went black like a shark. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Well, because there's a few girls I've hooked up with that I'm just like, I cannot believe I hooked up with this person. I want to show you like photos of them because it's like, wow. Yeah.
There's a shark eye again.
Yeah, no, because part of me is like almost like I leave my body and I look at myself and I'm just like so proud of myself. It's old bully high school me being like, wow, if you only knew who you were gonna hook up with when you get older.
I'd always end up with attractive women, and I think maybe I'm shallow. I don't know.
I think we all are. I think most men are. That's why women are the best, because women.
You don't think women are shallow?
They're not like us. Women like guys for like stupid reasons, like personalities. You know, like they'll.
Yeah, you're looking at Mr. Personality. You think I'm getting chicks off my looks?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
Like if we weren't funny, we would never get anything.
Dude, one time I'll never forget. I was laying on the beach with some girlfriends and like my pseudo girlfriend at the time, and one of them goes, it was just like a afterthought comment. She goes, "Wow, Ian, if you weren't funny, you wouldn't have anyone in your life." And I was like, "Oh, that cut me deep, Corey."
But it's true. Let's get Corey on the phone.
It is true.
So this was I had never heard of the term modelizer before.
Yeah, they called him a modelizer, which is a play on womanizer.
It's the opposite of a womanizer.
What? It's the same thing as a womanizer, but for models.
No, but they said on the show a modelizer is an opposite of a womanizer.
What? It's a womanizer, but for models. He's going after women because they're models.
Oh.
A womanizer goes after women because they're women.
Let's put this on a list of things we have to bring up to Darren Star.
Okay,
Just
good.
Be like, we question.
Put an asterisk. I thought Miranda and the modelizer, like her and that guy, is today's equivalent of a girl getting upset that she's losing out to dudes who date Instagram butt models.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like the worst dudes hooking up with like weird. It's like being upset that like these girls with huge butts and like vapid personalities are hooking up with like weird rich Egyptian men.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why do you want to be with this guy anyway? He's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm just thinking of girls with big butts that I've been with.
Shut up.
There's not a lot. There's one.
Uh-huh.
That man, she had a big butt, but it was like not. It was like so tight. Okay, let's not talk about it.
Jesus, Jay, what?
So Skipper.
What is this? Oh my God, Jay! I love how you're like women, but women are. That's why women are the best, because they go after men for their personalities and things that are deeper than skin. And you're like, her big butt, it was tight and bouncy, and I'm thinking about her tushy right now.
So I want to bring up Sarah Jessica Parker in the street with her fake fur eating a hot dog. I mean, are you in love with her yet?
Scooter?
Yeah, Skipper.
Oh, dude, she did a thing where she looked in the camera and like raised an eyebrow, and I was like, yummy.
Yeah, see? You get it. Are you there yet?
My nose.
Oh my God.
Hurts.
Are you there on SGP yet?
Yeah, I'm in it.
She does a thing in that first episode we didn't talk about where...
Speaking of personality, her personality has won me over. I'm so jealous of her friend group. I'm so jealous that they all just get together to catch up and hang out.
Do you have three friends that you meet up with on a regular? I guess you live with other guys, so it seems that way, but...
Yeah, but I want that.
So do I. I have...
But then me and some friends will get dinner, and then we'll all hang out. We'll like bust balls, have a good time, catch up and everything. And then like there'll be like a beat pause, and I'll be like, "We should do this again more often next week." And everyone's like, "Oh, you're gay," and I'm "But I want to be together. I want friendship."
She does a thing in the first episode where she drops all her stuff. She picks up her condoms. She meets Mr. Big, and she like walks away. And she does this thing where she kind of looks back at him to like be cute, but she trips. She does like a little like stutter step, and it's super funny and super cute. I think also her comedy timing is something that is.
How does she have so much time to have such a wide variety of friends and see them all?
Well, all she does is write articles. That's her work. And if she's a writer any way that I assume you and I are a writer, you don't do anything all day long until like 2:30 in the morning, and then you just freak out and then somehow write something in a half hour, and then you're like, wow, okay, I did it.
Well, she really has good time management. She like gets out, sees the world. I just camp out in my apartment, and I'm like, hey, the light of day? No.
Well, there's two types of people who avoid. Like when I have to do something, like if I had to write an article, I think I would sit in my apartment all day and not do it and just watch TV. But some people are like, you know what? I'm going out.
But
I'm going to do this.
I feel like your work is better when you are out in the world and living life.
Completely. But if you had to work on like a set for tonight, would you go out and like spend the day outside and doing stuff? Or you'd like stay home and work on it? What is going on?
I'm vaping. Because I quit smoking cigarettes.
But
It's making me cough.
it's the same thing. That's like when people are like, oh, I've stopped drinking, but now I drink bleach. It's like, it's this. You haven't
You're
stopped.
still drinking poison.
Yeah.
I think Scooter's so annoying.
It's Skipper.
Skipper.
And yeah,
Oh, God.
but he has a cell phone.
Yeah, what is that? What's Skippy do?
What does Skipper do?
Be annoying?
But he's also like but he like made her call
From his phone.
from
and
his
then
phone, but
grab
there's
the
no,
phone back.
yeah, it's not necessarily call waiting, so that's fine. So be like, let her call so that she doesn't think you're being a creep.
Also, no
but
one
then
has-
he adds the phone. He grabs the phone. So you completely defeated the purpose of having her call.
Yeah, and they don't have caller ID. They don't have cell phones, so you don't know who's calling.
Yeah.
So he could get away with just calling and she wouldn't know it's him, but then he leaves a message and he was like, you better call me back. Well, you don't have to, but call me back.
Yeah.
Call me back.
Yeah. It's like, I'm
like,
not a freak.
oh.
I'm a freak.
Yeah. I'm not a freak. I'm lonely.
Let's see. We run into Mr. Big again. He's a major tycoon, major dreamboat, and out of her league. I like that too. I like that she thinks Mr. Big is too
Why
big
do all
for
these
her.
people seem so old?
They do seem so old because
Right?
I want to know how old she is in the show because I have a feeling because how old?
They're supposed to be like 31, 32, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
They're in their 50s.
I guess part of it seems like
You old hag.
you have a bunch of women who don't, it seems like they don't have jobs, but, you know, doing the nightlife and going to brunch every Sunday. And it's kind of like, it's almost like, oh, you've already like lived your life and made a bunch of money. And now, now you're just living off. I mean, Charlotte, you see where Charlotte lives?
Yeah, it's insane. They all live on a park.
Yeah.
All their apartments are right parkside. It's insane.
And this is the problem that with jumping ahead because now I already want to talk about episode 3, but we can't use those things that we learned from episode 3. I love when
they all take cabs. These rich motherfuckers.
I'll take cabs. I like when Big calls her column cute. That's another great. Big runs into her and they're flirting, and he was like, "Oh, I read your column. It's cute." I do that too. I tend to not give people compliments and think it's cute.
Oh, like negging?
Yeah, but like thinking I'm Mr. Big, but I just come off as like just Mr. Big asshole. Like,
Mr. Big Butthole.
but then he brings over the hot model that he's fucking also. He brought up a point later on where he was kind of like, what's wrong with it? You know, I forget exactly what he said. I don't know where it is, but yeah, do you remember that part where he was like, so what's wrong with that? She was like, aren't you like just having sex with her because she's hot? And he's like, what's wrong with that?
Well, it was interesting because in the first episode, he's like, she like brought up the idea of like them sleeping together or whatever, and he was like, have you ever been in love? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
I'm all about love. I'm not about just frivolous sex. And then he's just got this model on his arm, and he's like, sometimes I like to stick my dick in hot things.
Yes.
It's like, Big.
But then he says at the end, after a while, you just want to be with the one that makes you laugh.
Yeah. Is that not the truth?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know why I thought of Margaret Cho.
What?
It was like the first one that I thought of.
What?
But she doesn't even make me laugh. But
You just want to be with Margaret Cho?
like maybe that's for everyone. Maybe that's
What?
just what I...
At the end of the day, what if Mr. Big was like, at the end of the day, you just want to be with Margaret Cho?
I watched.
That's got to be the name of this episode.
I watched the.
Being with Margaret Cho.
I watched the.
Max, write it down.
I watched the episode of the Masked Singer. I watched 4 seconds of it. Do you know that show?
It's so bad.
It's so bad, but it's a singer. They sing and dance, and everyone guesses who it is. And the girl takes her bunny costume off, and it was Margaret Cho. And like one of the guys was like, "Oh my God, Margaret Cho!" And you could see the rest of the people were like, "Who is that?" And they have to act so surprised, like I can't believe it.
I thought she was so funny.
Wow, that's something I've never said.
Really?
No.
Oh my God! When I was little, I thought she was the funniest, dude.
I can't think of one Margaret Cho joke.
Oh my God, she would imitate her family, and she had that show. Her show was so funny. When The Masked Singer came out, I tweeted, cancel the pineapple. I was raped by the pineapple. Why are we celebrating pineapple?
I don't like the taste of the pineapple. What was your watermelon line?
Oh! I had another one. I
keep getting it wrong.
I had to go in yesterday and go, what about sour? That was it.
This is why I was so bad at improv, because 20 minutes in, I would always forget any of the callbacks or where we were, because I have a bad memory. What is your watermelon line? I don't like the taste of that. He's blowing fucking vape rings. I don't like
cool, huh?
I don't like the taste of the watermelon.
That wasn't it.
I don't know. What was it?
It was like, It was watermelon. I thought he was eating out Margaret Cho.
Let's see here. Oh, Misha the model. That's who Mr. Big was with.
I feel like Miranda would be more likable if she had long hair. Is that messed up to say?
Miranda?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Miranda is definitely like, I'm not going to conform to society's view of what's attractive and what isn't. Mm-hmm. Like, that's kind of the attitude that she has. Mm-hmm. So, and that fits her. Mm. Oh, and then the guy said, "Oh, who said this? I think you're luminous." Someone said that to Miranda. Oh, fuck. This is
Skipper?
annoying. No. This is the episode. Oh, this is the episode where doesn't Skipper find her in the
bodega?
Yeah. And he like follows her to get Captain Crunch. Which is weird that then she was like, "Now I want to have sex with you." Oh, that's when he said, "I think you're luminous." Mm-hmm. And that's like what won it over for her, as opposed to, "You're like stalking me in my grocery store." That seems like a reason not to have sex with you.
Was he stalking her, or did he just randomly run into her?
No, because he was walking in the aisles first, like being like jittery. And then she like walked in. I don't know. To me, it seemed like he was just stalking her. He's also insane. He seems insane. Doesn't he? Like the phone call.
What else?
Why are you staring at me?
I wanted you to keep giving reasons.
Oh, no. I thought you were like looking at me like you relate to
No.
to him.
No.
No, I think the phone call, and finding her in her grocery store is like, it's too much. And I don't like that Miranda gave into it. But whatever.
I like.
Did she officially have sex with him? Because I have to put it on my list of sex.
I think she did. I think she brought him home for sex.
But they didn't show it.
When Carrie is in bed with that model and they're drinking, that made me want to fucking drink so bad. Woo!
Which one?
There's nothing better than just going back with someone and just fucking knocking them back.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
What?
Like when? Like doing like right before? You knock them back right before?
No, knocking back drinks.
Like during sex? Or before?
No, I don't even care about the sex. I'm an alcoholic. I just want to go back and drink with someone.
Oh, really? Oh.
One time I went back to this girl's place and with like a couple of her friends, and we were like fucking drinking heavy, and I went to her bathroom and I stole a bunch of her fucking Oxycontin, and then the next day I saw her on the street and she gave me the finger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she realized I stole her pills.
I was with a girl who
Whoopsies.
Took some of my Adderall, and she also would open them up and take them and then put them back. And it wasn't until after that I'd I took a few that like nothing happened. And then at one point I opened it, I like took it out and like shook it and would be like, these are fucking empty. Like she took them out and put them back in the bottle, so I didn't even know.
Well, I tried to do that with vodka one time. I stole my roommate's vodka and then filled it with water and put it back in the freezer, and it just froze. And he was like, "Are you an idiot?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well, a big part of this episode is basically how women feel terrible about themselves, like how society kind of makes them feel awful. And
that's so funny because all the models in this episode seem so like dumb and plain and boring, and I found myself like really wanting what Carrie and all her friends have.
well, that's the whole argument of the episode is basically vapidity. I don't know if that's a word, but like being vapid.
Vapidity?
The idea of being vapid is it?
Oh, vapidity.
Vapidity.
I thought you said vapidity.
Is that a word?
Let's look up
Are
vapidity.
you gonna look it up?
Yeah.
Wait, but now you're texting someone.
I'm not. I gotta type in the words, Jay. Vapidity. Whoa, that is a word.
Wow, nice. Wait.
Vapidity.
Nice.
Vapidity.
Yeah.
Vapidity. Vapidity. Vapidity.
Vapidity.
Basically,
Vapidity.
attractiveness
Vapidity.
versus substance.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I on that thing I feel
Yes.
because monogamy is. I don't know. I don't even know how monogamy is possible.
Ooh.
But I think if you're in a relationship with someone, I feel like you should be allowed to have basically,
day.
yeah, like vapidity sex, basically,
Oh.
just like sex with someone for no substance, but it's agreed upon, and then it's like, that's it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to do that to keep things fresh, or like it'll make you appreciate the one you're with more. And it's like, go out, use a condom. When you come back, wash your pussy because I'm gonna eat it. I
Right.
love you.
Right. Or don't, because I'm kind of into that too.
Oh, Jay's a cook. He's a cook. He's a lover and a child. He's a sinner and a saint. He is ashamed. He's a cook.
If you think about it,
Remember that song, bitch?
you should have did Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. That would have been a nicer callback to the
He's
beginning.
a cook. He's all out of self-respect. He's lying naked on the floor while a
you
man
go.
fucks his wife.
There you go. But if you think about it, like,
Yes.
as far as like society's norms of beauty and how men, we're lucky because men, the idea of us looking good is basically our bodies. Like we have to have ripped bodies, but no one ever sees that. You know, it's always underneath our clothing. What don't you understand?
Continue. I
When
wanna
you
see
think
where
of
this
when you
goes.
think of like a hot male model, like how would you describe a hot male model?
You gotta see his body. You gotta see his abs. That's the whole part of being a
Okay, and now how would you describe a hot female model?
you gotta see her in a bikini.
No, it's about her face. For men, it's not about the face. I don't know why are you confused about this?
Yeah, it is.
Of course,
Show me one male model that's a butterface.
Of course, it's both. But male models, I feel like runs this kind of the spectrum of what they can look like. The one thing that's different is their body.
You're so off base. There are no plus size male models. There's no biggest beautiful male models. Every male model looks the same. They got chiseled jaw, abs, stupid dumb. There's a whole array of female models and what's beautiful with women. There's no such thing as body positivity with men.
Right. Well, no.
You're not going to see a fat neckbeard guy, and people are like, big is beautiful. You're gonna be like, no, move out of your mom's basement, you tub of lard.
Right.
But then, like a blimp of a woman in a bikini, everyone's like, yes, you're brave.
Oh. No, of course, body-wise, okay? Of course, men have to be skinny, like all models are skinny. But face-wise can be different. So for a man, they could be attractive by face. The only thing that I think you're worried about or you're being judged on is, by beauty standards, is your body. And that's like covered at all times.
What are we talking about?
I'm talking about how you feel in society of how you're supposed to look and what the definition of beauty is. And I feel like for men, we could feel like, you know what, I'm attractive. Within society, I am attractive. The only thing where you're like, okay, I'm not attractive is like if I took my shirt off, and I never want to do that because that's where I'm like self-conscious about. Whereas women are like self-conscious about every single part of their body constantly. It's like, because they're showing off their body also.
Well, I think that has to do with pornography,
we're not
too.
showing off our bodies with our clothes.
Well, look at pornography. You barely ever see the guy's body or every guy in porn is like ripped, but it's always focused on the woman, and it's always like focused on the woman's vagina, and like I know so many girlfriends of mine that have insecurities about their vagina because they are supposed to have this like cute little paper cut, and a lot of them, look like a iceberg wedge, and it's like, that's just the way life is.
But it's also walk down the street every like 10 seconds. You're seeing a beautiful woman on in a poster on like everywhere you look. I'm just saying it's different for women than it is for men.
There's way more pressure on women to be attractive than there is for men.
I mean, basically, that's all I'm saying. I just went.
You took a long walk around the block to get there.
I think men are able to feel more confident in themselves. I think if men, what I'm saying is, if men had to work around, if they had to walk around shirtless, then I feel like they would be more in like a woman's shoes or feeling judged constantly and feeling like not up to society's standards. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, well, I feel like we should have to walk around shirtless so that we work out more and look better, and women should have to wear a burqa, and we can only interact with them based on their personality. And then women would really learn how to tell a story a lot faster. Because I feel like women could get away with just being like hot and then like having nothing below that. And then stupid guys are like, she's the best, just like the modelizer. He's like, these women are great. And it's like, no, they're fucking vapid idiots. And and his girlfriends agree with that. That's why they were like, oh, Miranda, you're different. You're great. But the thing is, Miranda's got a great personality, but she's not really a looker. So he's like, never mind.
What about a great dating site where it's just the girl's eyes and then they just like tell stories? And then it's just whichever girl has the best personality from their stories.
It'll be called Tinder because you use it to start the fire that I'm going to set my body on with.
I watched an episode of Taxi recently where he was calling in to like the main.
I just want to apologize for that Tinder joke. It was so bad.
We're gonna delete that. Don't worry.
You know?
So he was calling into the main taxi line, whatever that is, and there was this woman that he started talking to, and became like they would sit on the phone for hours and just talk all night. And he's
That's hot.
He's like, this woman is just amazing. She's great. Oh my! And this is Alex Rieger, not a looker.
Means nothing.
Judd Hirsch.
Oh, okay.
Not a looker.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, "Well, she's amazing." We talk on the phone for hours, and then he finally meets up with her for a date.
And she's an uggo?
Well, she's heavy.
Uh-huh.
And the entire episode is basically making fun of how heavy she is.
Oh, no.
And how does he turn her down? And like when he goes to see her, she's very like, she opens the door and she's like, "So disappointed?"
Oh my God, what a brassy bitch.
She's like, "No, it's fine." She's like, "You could leave now. Most guys do."
Whoa.
He's like, "No, I'll stay, for this." And she's like, "I made you dinner. But this is all of it." She's like, "My trough is in the bedroom."
What?
It's just kind of like she just put herself down constantly.
Right. Oh, the poor gal.
And
Can I tell you?
And the episode ends with them eventually falling in love.
Oh, that's nice.
Just kidding. He would never date her because he's fat. And you're like, this is how the episode ends?
Oh, God.
And then she comes back in season 2 and she lost a whole bunch of weight. And now he's like super into her. It's kind of like it's.
Oh, wow.
It's not the most.
Dude. When I was 13, summer of '98.
Oh, here we go. June 14th.
Summer of '98. There was a girl that I talked to on AOL that was like a friend of a friend, right? And she and I would talk. We'd talk on the phone. She'd have a sleepover. She'd put me on speakerphone, and I'd make her and all her friends laugh. And she loved it. We were so into each other. She would say, like, "I'm going to get you a pair of chocolate underwear, and I'm going to eat them off your body." And I was like, "Oh, my God, I've never touched a woman before." And, like, "I'm going to run over to your place and kiss you right now," and all this, like, stuff. Like, wow, it's my girlfriend. So we finally decided to meet at the Italian Festival in Wilmington, Delaware. And we met up. And we went to ride on the Zipper, and she told me not to touch her. And then she went to a payphone and called her mom to pick her up because I was so ugly.
Oh my God.
And then after that was like on a Saturday. On Monday, she sent out an email to everyone that we knew. It was a forwarded message. And the one before her, it was like, "What do you think of when you hear this person's name?" And it was like, "Mark, boring. Zach, cool." And that was like the email. And when she sent it out, she added in bold, "Ian." And she wrote, "Short, ugly, big nose, vampire teeth."
Oh my.
Yeah. Annoying, braces, glasses. Just like describe me. And I was like, ah! Yeah. It really fucked me up.
That's an awful story.
I know. If you're listening, fucking kill yourself. No, don't.
Let's get her on the phone.
I've seen what she looks like now, and time has not been kind.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
All right.
I won that race.
We should make a list of all these people and get them on the phone at some point.
Maybe bleep out her name.
What?
Yeah. But man, that was so rude. I empathize with the fat character from Taxi.
Yeah. Wow. That's awful. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, for the next decade and a half, I was like, I'm the ugliest person in the world, and I missed out on so many chances to like be with someone because I was like, oh, there's no way someone like you would be with someone as ugly as me.
Oh yeah.
Because I had this nose from the time I was like 11, and it took so long for my face to grow into it.
It's so I grew up with a big nose. I was the guy in high school. Like if you had to describe me, you'd be like, oh, he's the kid with the big nose. Uh-huh. And what's funny is this girl who messaged me about bullying this other kid, she
made fun of your nose?
Yeah, she called my nose a huge snot locker.
No.
Which has stuck with me also for 30 years because it was like, I was like halfway insulted, but it was also the most like interesting choice of words.
Snot locker?
Snot locker. I was like, that's amazing. I didn't even know
you should have called her pussy that.
It was like when I learned like roast jokes were possible. I was like, wow, snot locker.
Isn't it funny how we're all just so damaged?
We're going long, but we are talking about like looks and trying to feel good about yourself. So I had this big nose for so long, and then my mom was pushing me to get a nose job. And basically all through high school was like, you got to get a nose job. We got to, and went to the doctor. She made me, like when we went to the doctor, she's like, you have to tell him that you can't breathe out of your nose because I couldn't get cosmetic surgery. I needed it because I had a deviated septum. So So we go in, and I was like, yeah, I can't breathe out of my nose. Didn't even know what that meant because I was like, wait, would I like die if that was the case? I guess I got my mouth, but I was young. I didn't know how breathing worked. So the doctor looks at my nose and goes, yep, you have a deviated septum. And me and my mom looked at each other and we were like so excited. And my junior year going into senior year, I got a nose job.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And did not fix my deviated septum. That's when I started realizing I had a deviated septum because I was like, wait a minute.
So your nose right now is a product of surgery.
2 surgeries. I had a second nose job because I
You can't tell at all.
Well, because I wanted it to look very natural. I had like a huge hook, like
Really?
a huge bump on my nose. So I was like, I just want to get rid of that. Because as I was laying on the surgery table, the doctor was like, do you want us to slim down the bottom of your nose? And I was like, first of all, this is not the time to be asking me this question. And no, don't do anything else. Because I thought I didn't want to look like Michael Jackson.
Wow, it makes so much more sense. You told me that your mom wouldn't watch things if she didn't find one of the characters attractive.
Wow. It's like a major breakthrough.
Yeah.
This is why she didn't pay attention to me for the first
Because
6
she didn't
years of my
find you
life.
attractive.
She was like, I don't want to watch you.
Wow. Well, that's been our episode, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Sexy in the City.
She's here? Oh, my gosh. All right. Shoot us your emails. We haven't received any emails yet. sexianthecity@gmail.com. But no emails because we haven't released any of these yet. But I still take it personally. Hit us on Twitter. We are Sex in the City, also at Mid-Evenings. And what are you?
Ian Finance.
Ian Finance, yeah. I'm just like sitting. I got to sit with that for a bit now. So thanks. I got to spend the rest of my week. So, all right. Thanks, guys. See ya.